You know, there's a story in the Bible about two brothers who were apart from the father. One because he went far away, and the other was so self-righteous that he never really loved the father. He loved his own goodness. It's in the story of the prodigal son. If you walk into this building here at Longwood, and I hope those of you who are worshiping with us online will someday come to the facility. When you look up, you will see a picture, a rendition of Rembrandt's The Return of the Prodigal Son. Let me tell you just a little bit about that picture. When Rembrandt painted that, he was 63 years old. Unbeknownst to him, it was the last year of his life. Rembrandt was probably better qualified to paint a picture of the need of grace than any other artist of his time, because Rembrandt probably had a special affinity in his heart for the younger brother, the prodigal. You know why? Because Rembrandt himself had absolutely wasted a fortune on exorbitant and lustful living, just like the prodigal son. In his career, Rembrandt made enough money to be very rich, but he spent it faster than he made it. And when he was 63 years old, shortly after he painted that picture, he died in poverty, and he was buried in a pauper's grave. He wasn't just painting the need of the prodigal son. He was painting his own need. But there's more to that painting. Obviously, the general meaning of it is that no matter how far you wander away, grace is just a U-turn away. But I want you to learn just a little bit more. And my friend Reggie Kidd, I've asked him to explain a little bit more about that portrait so that you could not only appreciate the portrait more, but you could appreciate our God more. Reggie is a teacher of New Testament and of worship at Reformed Theological Seminary. So listen to this.
If the lesson of the younger brother is that no matter how far you stray, grace is just a U-turn away, the lesson of the older brother is that it's possible to stay home but still be lost. Most people think the figure at the far right is the elder brother. His bearded face is a younger version of the father's, only this is a hard face. He wears the same red mantle as the father, but he stands tall, straight, aloof. He clutches his hands, one hand shielding the other. You can imagine just this sort of self-protective move when the father says, "Put a ring on the younger brother's hand." Envy always thinks that sharing means losing. Jesus' parable is aimed primarily at the elder brothers. Folks scandalized that Jesus is spending time with tax collectors and sinners. And so Rembrandt's prayer is that respectable people will remember that they too need grace. It's not enough to look like the Father and to wear his clothes. You have to have his heart. Notice too Rembrandt's vision of the Father. Undignified, he bends down to embrace, and his arms form a halo of love. Look at his hands. One is wide, muscular, and masculine. The other is slender, soft, and feminine. The Father's love is both strong and tender. And notice his eyes. Instead of condemnation, they reflect a compassion that matches the prodigal's humility. Rembrandt understood the Bible's message of grace. We're all big sinners, whether prodigal or respectable. Sometimes we find ourselves in the mindset of the elder brother, having a hard time extending grace, deciding for ourselves who should be accepted and who should not. Other times we find ourselves struggling with the return to our Heavenly Father. Will He accept us? How could He embrace me? And yet our God stands ready and even runs to greet us. He is our gracious Father.